Chatura Gunatilaka, welcome to the program. Without further ado, we're going to ask you what is happening in Sri Lanka at the moment and what is your view?
Actually, if you look at Sri Lanka now, you can't figure out what is happening without considering what was happening in the last few months, especially because if you think about last number of years, still people were struggling, like in different ways. But if you think about last few months, people were suffering without food, without fuel, without gas, without electricity. So in many ways, and because of COVID and everything, the school children couldn't go to work, schools, and there were many problems within the communities. So there was a pressure among the within communities, and somehow, if you think about last like from March to now, there was a huge problem with power cuts, and because normal people, like people who were doing day-to-day work, like sewing clothes or some small scale industries, they couldn't do their job at all. So they are sometimes bringing income day by day, and they are bringing food day by day to the table. So they were actually struggling big time. So this pressure was there within the communities, and it somehow broke up. So that is what we see in beginning of the April. So that is what happened, and because once that comes up, because people were waiting for long, and people understood that there is no way, because if rulers are not delivering what they're supposed to deliver, what people, general public, can do rather than demanding supply those essentials to people. So that is what people are doing. They are not violent. They don't throw, they don't get arms into their hands. They're just democratically, they are protesting. That is their right, according to even our existing constitution, even though there is a discussion whether this constitution deliver our needs, but according to this constitution as well, it is a right of the people to demand and protest. That is what people are doing at this moment. But we know that in different ways, these rulers are trying to suppress these struggles in different ways. So that is what we can see now. And today, if you think about today what is happening, and Ranil Wickremesinghe, he himself lost his own seat, and somehow he managed to come to the parliament. He has only one seat in his party, and because he was protecting Rajapaksas, and because of that, he got the privilege to become the prime minister. Now he's dreaming of becoming the president, and now he's unleashed another attack on normal protesters. That is what is happening. So this is the situation we'll discuss further in the next time. That's fine. Thank you.
Chatura Gunatilaka, very important question for you. There are so many purposes for the Aragalaya. And do you think the purpose of Aragalaya is fulfilled? And where are we now?
Actually, what is the purpose of the Aragalaya? According to my understanding, people were suffering, as I explained earlier, and they wanted to find out simple solutions like food, gas, electricity, and these kind of things that first affected into their lives. But they've been, going through this pain for last 74 years. At the same time, they have had that doubt that whether all those, it doesn't matter, regardless of what government comes to power, they couldn't deliver last 74 years. So they wanted to have a change as well, but there wasn't, the society wasn't ready for that. But because of all those things together, now there is a chance to have a complete different system. That is why people say we need a system change, right? So when they said Gota go home, actually that Gota go home does not mean just Gota go home, because they suffered a lot from this executive presidency. So Gota go home means that this presidency has to go away, because it's not just about the person who is sitting there. Gotabaya has done a great job sitting there and worsening the situation in the country, but all those the people came to the power and become presidents. They have a responsibility as well. They are responsible for what happened in the country as well. So Gota go home means just not Gota, executive presidency also need to go home. And the second thing is, people started chanting, we don't need 225 people. So that means politically, if you think about it, that means this current political system, that current parliament and this system, corrupt system, does not deliver what people are expecting. So that is simply people said. So we need to understand in that they're in their language. So that is what it meant. So people are expecting a completely different system. So that is why actually people are fighting now. Right, so it started with something, but now it has improved. It's becoming, it's going in the right direction. That is what we wanted anyway. So now we have achieved a lot. When you ask, have we achieved the purpose of Baragalaya? No, we haven't completely, but we have achieved a lot. For example, if you think like 1 year ago, nobody thought about getting rid of the world most powerful executive president. But now he's trying to find a way to, flee from the country. So now somehow he escaped, right? So with the struggle, this is not just because of parliament or opposition leaders or this political party, that political parties. And we can see now there are many people coming ahead and asking, oh, we are the ones who did the struggle. No, this is a common struggle. People did it. Political parties, or maybe they involved in it and contributed, but this credit has to go to the people who were really on the struggle, not somebody else. So if you are thinking about purpose, of course, we need to think about the purpose of those people who are in the struggle. So we have achieved a lot. For example, if you think about last 10, 15 years, especially after the war, what kind of society it was. We know the Albayaan attack on Muslim people and the Kandy attack, because we've been going through a 30 years long war and we seen a massacre. So all those people, it goes beyond that as well. If you think about 1956, Bandaranaike Naik brings the new proposal to to get Sinhala as the state language. So all that root was there as well. So always these rulers used racism, nationalism, this religion to separate communities, and through that get the votes from their communities and come into the power and stay. So that is what they did. But because of this Aragalaya, now it has all gone. That's, I think, one of the strongest things that we achieved. I think in the first time in Sri Lankan history, we are, regardless of your color, religion, language, we are fighting together against the rulers. That is one of the things that we achieved. Another thing is always party politics. Separated people, always separated. Now, people don't care about party politics. They want real solutions. That is what, even if you think about the discussion yesterday that Aragalaya people did with the political party members and the unions and representative other organizations, they clearly said, no, we are not going to come into that parliament system. No, we are not going to come in there. We are always going to be as a pressure group outside. We are going to act as a outside people's council or people's assembly and pressure you and guide you and force you to do the right thing. So whoever comes into the government, that actually has to be there. So I think we have achieved a lot. We got to the world's most powerful president, and after their Jayawardena, Mahinda Rajapaksa was the first prime minister who got more than 2/3 of the parliament, and we got rid of him as well, and reshuffled 2 times or 3 times the cabinet. So we have achieved a lot, and now actually always we're thinking about the executive power, the parliament power, and the judiciary. Not now. There is one more thing has added to the thing in the power in the country. That is people's power. Also, that is the 4th column actually. Not 3 columns. Now we have 4 columns. Right? That 4th column, the people's power, is much more stronger than the other 3 now. So if people are trying to avoid this and go and play the old dirty political game again, I think they got wrong. No, you can't do that anymore, because we are in a completely different situation. We have achieved a lot. And the thing is, now this is just the beginning. We have just cleared our path to go to the right direction. We need to ask people, don't think this is just a winning. We've won something. Yeah, of course we have won a lot of things, but there is a long way to go. We have to organize it. Now people are together, but it's not organized. So what you need to do, regardless of your political parties, when there's an election comes, you can go and vote whatever you prefer to vote. That is not the problem. That's a completely different thing. But keep this power among you, because we can't be always sitting down in the parliament secretariat or world-face. We have to go to our day-to-day work. Children need to go to school, and so and so. But that means we need to bring this power back into the villages, towns, wherever we live, wherever we work. We'll build something, some kind of organization, people's councils, everywhere, wherever possible. They get a representation to the national kind of assembly, and then keep that power. And that way, if we can organize that way, we can actually achieve a lot. Because we don't know who's going to come into the parliament next time. Because always, there was a good group of people came, and after 1 year, 2 years, we start seeing the same procedure, right? Countries becoming poor, and people's problems are getting worse and worse. So we have a lot to achieve, but we have achieved a lot. People need to organize and fight together. Because of Aragalaya, we achieved this. We need to go further. We need to fight.
Bomastuti, I think one of the best comments you did. I think many people they were working with Aragalaya. They should understand Aragalaya is achieved a lot, even though we are not succeeded 100%. We are on the right direction, and we can see the light at the end of the tunnel. Yes, one of the best statement I come across regarding Aragalaya. Aragalaya empowered the people. Aragalaya empowered the people. The same time, the statement continue. All the ruling parties disempowered the people. The ruling parties disempowered the people, but the Aragalaya empowered the people. So this is one of the main, I think, achievement which all Sri Lankan achieved. As you mentioned, regardless of the colors, regardless of the ethnicity, regardless of the religion, and these are the people, I think, rulers divided us to rule the country. But now the people, through the Aragalaya, they come together. Thank you very much for your beautiful comment. Brother Chatura Gunatilaka, very important message. Today, Ranil Wickremesinghe, acting president, he mentioned in the protest and fascist elements are there, and we can't give the permission to the fascist elements. But all world, they know very well. And the Sri Lankan, all the protesters from the beginning up to now, they never use any violence. What is your message against this statement from Ranil Wickremesinghe?
The thing is, as you said, whole world knows what is happening exactly in Sri Lanka. All Sri Lankans together peacefully protesting months and months, and even though they got control of presidential palace and the presidential secretariat, they didn't destroy anything. They are looking after them, so they know. Everybody knows what is happening exactly from the Aragalaya side. But if he is talking about fascist, I think he need to look at himself. Who is acting as a fascist? Right? He doesn't have a clue what he's talking about. He doesn't have a mandate at all. As I said earlier, he himself lost his election. He couldn't come into the parliament, and that is in the history, even in the history of the UNP, that is the first time they got one seat in the parliament. And he was somehow, after 7-8 months, he managed to get rid of all the other people who tried to come into that, get into that parliament seat, and he somehow got it and came to the parliament. And now, somehow, because of his previous deals with Mahinda Rajapaksa and Rajapaksa family regime, so they know Rajapaksa knows he will protect them. That is why he got this chance to become the prime minister. He doesn't have any right to be in that post in the first place, and he is the one who is now acting as a fascist. So, because now peaceful protesters are on the road asking for food, fuel, and basic things, but now in this crisis, he is putting petrol into military choppers and planes there, hovering around on the protesters. So, who is now? Look at that last number of days. Army and police, they didn't actually try to attack. There is a pressure. We know that politically they will pressure for police to control things, but normal soldiers and policemen, they know what is happening in their own homes. So that is a disadvantage for the rulers, because they can't just send them against the people. But now he is somehow forcing the forces and trying to suppress these protesters, and that is what today we can see. But still, people are talking to those armies and police, and they are not violent still. And what we have to say to Ranil Wickremesinghe, now don't talk about the protecting the constitution. We have seen how you protected the constitution and protected lives of people. Just think about what you have done in 1980s, 88, 89 period. Tens of thousands of people were killed, murdered. You are one of the people who are responsible for that. Because you were always dealing with all the coming political parties, you didn't go into jail or you didn't suffer for that. But now he is talking about fascist. So I think the short message, what I have to say is, you don't have any mandate to be in even the parliament. Now you have no power to talk about that. And the second thing is, you have murdered thousands of people, and you have no right to talk about fascist, because you are the first fascist in that sense. And the other thing is, now we have the people, with the people's power, have got rid of the most powerful president. And somehow he managed to get 6.9 million votes. Even 2.5 years ago, he got that mandate. But who are you? When we kick off Rajapaksa, you are nothing. You are nothing. You need to wake up. Don't dream. You need to wake up and go home. That's what I need to really simply say.
Yeah, good message. And finally, I want to ask, as one of the main candidate or main active participant in London, Ragalaya, and what is the message for 17th on Sunday? And please share your thoughts regarding or invite the people for this.
Yeah, actually, it's a very important day for us. I think all the Sri Lankans and supporters of Sri Lanka, because we know that how hard it is even to people to come into Colombo and fight, because they are in villages, they are struggling for food and basic things, no fuel, no nothing, and people are still the government and the forces, they are trying to impose curfew and things like that, but it's still thousands of people coming and doing this struggle. So because, as I earlier said, we can't just ignore it. Because of that people's power, we got rid of these people. Now they are trying their best to achieve their targets, their the purpose. But as Sri Lankan community in the UK, especially in London and in the UK, because there are all around the people from all around the country, all around the world are here in London. So doing a march in London is a very it's a very important thing, because in different ways. First, we can strengthen our people who are in their struggle in Sri Lanka. So we need to give the message: you are not alone. Your struggle is not alone. We are here in thousands and thousands. We are behind you. We are watching you. We are strengthening you. Then we need to give that courage and we need to give that support from here. That is one thing. We need to come in thousands and give that message. That is one thing. The second thing is, as I said earlier, there are London is with many communities from many countries. So we can tell the world, look, how it was in the last 10, 20, 30 years with this racism, religion, this war, that war. They were creating issues in between communities, rulers. But now we got together and overthrown, kick these corrupt rulers out of the country. So we can show the world this is what we can do if we get together as general public. That is the second message. We have to give that message to the whole world, right? And the third thing is, as you earlier asked, this struggle is just starting. We just clear our first barrier. Now we have a long way to go, right? So getting rid of all these corrupt politicians and changing our constitution, changing our whole system from the Grama Sevaka to the president, we have to change whole system, right? So there is a long way to go, and then we have to build the country as well. So think about education, think about the health sector. Now people are dying without medication. That is the situation in Sri Lanka. So we have many things to do. So we have a long way to go. So in that, we have to strengthen the struggle. With those, we have to strengthen those slogans as well. What we need to do. For example, now we can see that all the political parties within the parliament, they are just trying to get into premiership and become president. Now we have to mention them. No. It doesn't matter, you do whatever game you are doing in the parliament, but whoever comes to the parliament, you need to do what these people, the Aragalaya says. They have put forward the action plan, right? It demands very basic things. For example, if some people are asking for an election, but if we go for election, for example, another couple of months' time, so what will happen to this unity that we have created for months and months? It will be diluted, right? It will go down. So we shouldn't do that. So because we have to keep that stronger, and before we do that, can't we bring a new constitution? Because now everybody is now running the constitution. Says, I am acting. I'm here to protect the constitution. Who wrote this constitution? Who asked Jonathan to write this? Because he himself wanted to have an authoritarian power, so he wrote it with his some few people, so-called intellectuals or whoever. But this is not written by people. Now, because there are 20 plus amendments now. Each and every amendment you think about, all those amendments were brought because the politicians wanted at that time. This is not benefit for the people. So what we need to now look at, because now they are moving around like going around this constitution. Now, as other people say, we need to bring a constitution now, and that constitution has to be drafted by people. Because if we can do if we are the electricians, if we are the doctors, engineers, all people, no? So why can't we write something to become the law in the country? We can do that, of course. We are the one. It should be that. We should do it. So we have to, as I said earlier, if you get all those people into a people's council and get all those intellectuals as well, experienced people, and if political parties want to contribute, of course, welcome. You can come and put your thoughts as well. But that constitution has to be written by the people. Then, within for example, once these two people, they must leave, they must resign, and after that, we can set up an interim government with some of those people. But the main target should be to deliver what these Aragalaya people say at the very, very, very at the at their action plan, the very basic things. Once we get this done, then we can go for election, and then there will be a fair ground for complete anybody to even come into the parliament. Now, in this election, so only billionaires can win the parliament seat. Otherwise, even the small political parties cannot compete. That is the situation. So I think we are now trying to strengthen the struggle. We should look at people's struggle and the plan that put forward by the strugglers, and listen to that and do that, and then we can win whatever we are trying to win. And there is a long way to go. In this march, we can bring those slogans forward. We can bring those slogans forward and show that this is what we want as well, not just Goldface, not just Anuradhapura Gotagama. In London also, this is what we are also expecting. We can give that message as well. So, second thing is very important. We ask all the people in the UK, please come, just keep your birthday parties, barbecues. We know this is sunny days, these days, but just leave your barbecues away, friend parties away. Please come with your friends, with your whole family, children, wives, husbands, everybody. Let's do this. In thousands, we will show the world, we will give the strength to the strugglers, victory to the struggle. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much, Chatura. We benefited from your thoughts, and very important question I'm going to ask you finally. I asked the same question with Nasrin before. How do you feel working with other communities? Because this never happened in the history of Sri Lanka. Maybe happened, one or two people work like a Sinhalese or Muslim as a community, as a civil organization. As myself, I'm an imam. I'm active in many organizations. And also I'm participating from the beginning of the Aragalaya. And I had worked with Tamils and Buddhist. And this is not for everybody. And what is your feeling working with other communities?
Actually, I personally, I was working with different communities. Always we wanted to be together and live together. So I didn't believe at all that we have any difficulty living together. So all those problems were created by someone else who were ruling us above. So always we want to be together. And if you come to this struggle, I can see that positive energy is there from all the communities. But there are sometimes some communities think that, we can join here, we should go there, but what if something's turned around? Will it attack us? That feeling is there. That is fair. That's fair feeling. But because I'm coming from I'm a Sinhalese, it's in number, it is a majority. But because why I'm saying this, I urge all those communities, don't think like that. We are same. It doesn't matter you born as in a Muslim family or Tamil family or Sinhala family. As long as you're born in Sri Lanka, you are a Sri Lankan, right? Don't think like that. Okay, of course we have to go, but something goes wrong. What will happen to us? There is an attack on us. Don't think like that. In that attack, we must fight together as well. Not just if there is a problem to Muslim community. The main problem that I think most of the time when there is a problem in the Tamil community, Tamil people just trying to get together, organize and fight alone. When there is a fight, the problem in the Muslim community, they organize themselves and try to fight alone, and that doesn't work. So if there is a problem in the Tamil or Muslim or Sinhala community, we'll get together, organize together, fight together. Then definitely we can win. So I can see that green sign here, but we will improve that. We will come together through the struggle. We will understand each other more, and there will be most of the problems will be gone by then. So don't worry about it. Please come, join. We'll win together. We will have a beautiful country.
Yeah, that's very good message. And also I need to inform here one of the message beautifully done by our beloved Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. We all are in the same boat. If one of us dig the boat, we're all going to sink. Yes, so this is a situation of Sri Lanka, and if you're working, separately with the majority or minority or Buddhist or Sinhalese or Christian this way, and we're all going to lose. This is the things happen for our country, and thank you very much for your fruitful thoughts. And one of the beautiful quotation from our beloved Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam regarding struggle. The word jihad misunderstood by many people, misinterpreted by many think tanks, but unfortunately, the direct translation for jihad is struggle. So one of the companion of Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam went and asked, the Prophet, peace be, blessings and peace upon him, and he asked, what is the best jihad? What is the best struggle? The Prophet said, a word of truth in front of a tyrannical ruler. And if you are thinking about the Sri Lankan, the Gotabaya Rajapaksa former president, everybody agree he's a tyrannical ruler. So if you can raise your voice against him, if you can do something against his tyrannical ruling, and you are one of the person who uphold the best jihad, best struggle. So the Aragale Tajaveva Kila Okoma Kinava. Yes, we need to praise the Aragalaya. The people's power is always winning. So people should understand what is the best values in the community. Always the values are same for any community. Speaking the truth and speaking against the corruption and helping the poor and needy people. This is common for any religion. So we can't say this is only Islam saying, no, all the religions saying beautiful thing, beautiful values. And if we uphold, we will work with any community. This is the thing that we are missing. We missed in the past. But I think the good message today given by all of you, especially I would like to thank all of you came. And with a short notice, only last night I called, you came and you attended. And I think a beautiful discussion, as everybody agreed, even the social media, the followers, people mentioned, this sort of discussion should continue again and again. And I would like to thank Chatura Gunatilaka, and we are impressed with your beautiful, fruitful thought and Api Oyata Bomastuti Karantone. And we will take your all the thoughts, and we will inshallah share these thoughts in our community. And also in the near future, we will talk more and more about the things which is benefit for our community and our land, motherland.